Dang it, Ace, why did you put my tablet under a jacket where I could clearly see it? I need it out from under the jacket where I can more clearly see it. I need you to anticipate my needs. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Power Rangers Beast Morphers Episode 7. So this episode was all about the Beast Spots, and the Rangers underappreciate them because they're jerks, and I'm gonna fire all of them because they almost made Smash cry like 5 times. I actually quite liked this episode. I only have a few little nitpicks which are kind of more about stuff surrounding it, like I kind of wish we had gotten a little more with the Beast Spots before this. Like, I feel like we kind of underutilized them till this point. Like, it was nice we have a specific episode now to sort of get to know them and stuff, but I feel like the episode could have been even better if, you know, we had spent a little bit more time with them, a little bit more time with them. The other complaint being, it was kind of one of those, like, classic setups, which Power Rangers does this a lot. I mean, a lot of shows do it also, like any kind, where they'll, like, amp up the way a certain character or characters act for the episode. Like, the Rangers were, like, overly being jerks. That was some great talking, Dawson. Put it together. Ace, Dan, this is your fault too. Like, you know, where the characters will kind of amp up a behavior just to prove the point of the episode, which is like the Rangers were basically treating the Beast Spots poorly. So it seemed like the Rangers were acting all a little bit out of character. It's something that sometimes can be remedied by, in previous episodes, you sort of seed in a little bit of that. But I feel like having the Rangers kind of be a little bit fed up with the Beast Spots in previous episodes would have seemed weird also. But I don't know, like, it's not a huge complaint. It just kind of always comes off a bit unnatural when, you know, kind of like last week with Devin, they just kind of amped up a certain character trait to make a point where it just seems like out of nowhere, like for one episode they're having a hissy fit and then the hissy fit's over. But again, that's not a huge deal. I just wanted to bring that up because it's something that's weird that lots of shows do. But other than that, I quite liked it. It's kind of funny actually because like early in the episode they're like, oh, Smash, you didn't give me a good enough foot rub, or you didn't get the office supplies. And I was like, I thought part of the message or the lesson of this episode was you're not supposed to be using your Beast Spots for like these menial tasks. But I guess that was fine. It's just about the way that they were treating them. And I felt bad for them because the Rangers were being kind of, you know, jerks to them about it. And it was kind of showing like, you know, that they were underappreciating them because the way that they were acting and being kind of a little bit, you know, overprotective or overly involved was actually a good thing because they were getting to know them and stuff like that. And it was really cool too that they kind of brought back a technology from the beginning of the episode where at the beginning when they were training a little bit with like this like hologram technology, they brought that back later when they were tricking the monster of the week into believing that they were boxes because they were using Jax as a decoy because he was the only one that didn't get kidnapped. Because like the other two Beast Spots, they all came up behind him and kidnapped them, and Jax turned around and said, I've done the brainwash thing before, not a fan. And then he electrocuted them with their arrow. No, that didn't happen. I think that was something else, not sure what. I do also really like that the villains, I feel like, have been coming up with some pretty, like, decently smart plans. Like, because the plan with this was basically like the Beast Spots have all the Megazord data so they can take over him. I remember reading the description for that last week and I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll get to see some sort of Megazord fight with that, but I can't remember how much precedent there is in Go Busters footage for like Megazords fighting Megazords amongst this set, excuse me. So, I mean, I don't know if they have any, like, of the suits here in the US, so they couldn't make that footage. I can't remember the last time we made original Zord footage, you know, in terms of the Zords themselves and not, like, cockpits and stuff. So, I mean, so I don't know if there's precedent for Go Busters footage they could have used for this, but setting that aside, I am a little disappointed we can get to see something actually done with that. Because honestly, I first thought that it was going to be somehow, you know, the Zord with Jax in it going up against the regular red and blue Zords because they were taken over. So we didn't really get to see that come to fruition. It was just kind of an idea. We never really got to see activate because, you know, they stopped it before it even happened. So I was a little disappointed by that. But again, like if they don't have the footage or they, you know, don't have the suits to film that, then I guess they couldn't do that. So that's a thing. They also had like a little line with Nate talking about, you know, when the Rangers were getting fed up with them, he's like, you know, I wish I had a friend like a brother, wink, wink. It seemed a little bit like on the nose for what we're leading towards, but at the same time it was nice that they sort of, you know, kept that consistent and kept the ball rolling a little bit on his storyline. I liked that. I felt like It was funny because when Zoe found out that like the Beast Bots were hiding something in a room, it was like a surprise for the Rangers. It felt a little over the top, like, wow, you guys are really being jerks. They're planning a surprise party, like a literal no reason surprise party. Basically, that's just there to make the Rangers feel more guilty. But it was also just kind of nice of the Beast Bots, and I liked the turnaround at the end where they threw the party for the Beast Bots. With a really dangerous styrofoam cake that's made of styrofoam and cake at the same time. A steak. Wait, that's already a thing. I just felt that was a little too on the nose. Also, at the end of the episode, it was funny because I was thinking, as we were in the Megazord battle, I was thinking like, oh, we haven't done anything with them stealing that J head last week, but the very last, like, scene in the show was Scrozzle working on something. He's working on like a portal or something to get Evox to the regular Earth dimension, and you know he had some of the henchmen port away with the J head. So I really like that they did that. I like that that's continued. I mean, technically that's like 3 weeks in a row. Or like it was 3 weeks in a row, I think, because it's like you saw Jay's head being carted across. Last week it got stolen, and then like they're obviously showing something's gonna happen with it. Maybe they're gonna use like Jay's body as the initial body that Evox is in. Like maybe that'll come out and they'll fight like Jay's, because they do a lot of original footage, like Jay's suit, and then they manage to somehow get Evox out of it, and then Nate will customize it into being like the Jay we know or something. I don't know, but regardless, I really like that. I like that foreshadowing, and that we keep that going, and it's not something that like they show happening and then we forget about it for a while. But I mean, if we go on a hiatus soon, we don't have too much longer left for them to get that going until the fall. But again, I just appreciate that. So yeah, overall, I thought this was a very solid episode. I liked it quite a bit. I'd probably give it an 8. But like I said, most of my complaints are just kind of complaints in general about this type of episode where they really amp up, like, over the top a character trait to drive home a point, and it seems like their dial is up to 11 just for that week. I also want to say that I really appreciate that, like, most of the stories of the week, even if it's a lesson or something, it feels like it's Ranger related in the sense of like just their Ranger activities or the Rangers themselves in a way that I really appreciate as a stark contrast. A stark Tony Stank. A stark contrast from Ninja Steel, where it felt like the B plot was the A plot. So like the talent show or the bake sale was like the most important plot, and then like whatever was going on Ranger related felt secondary. And so I really appreciate that whatever the A plot is feels like it's about being, you know, a Power Ranger or something. Not that you can't have those plots where, you know, there's something else going on that's kind of taking over, but that felt really strange from Supercharged through Ninja Steel, how that would often be the case. Like, it felt very out of place even for Power Rangers. So I appreciate the fact that so far, you know, it's probably going to change now that I mentioned it for Super Beast Morphers or whatever happens, but I appreciate that that feels more in balance than it has been in a while. I was almost just going to say I made a balance joke for when he shows up next week, but then I realized that's Jay, and balance is from Q Ranger. I don't know where my mind's at today. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. I gotta go throw this guy a party. Dawson Ryder, signing out.